Hi guys, it's Sophie. Welcome back to my channel. This is a channel where we predominantly talk about books and also knitting. So cosy hobbies, things that you can unwind and relax to. And today I'm filming one of my first few knitting videos. So what I thought it'd be fun to do together is sort out my stash and kind of formalise my stash, I guess. I've always had wool, always, since I was about 10, and it's just varied in terms of how much I've had, where I've stored it, how I've stored it, and since I was hospitalised I have definitely been diving into knitting as a real stabilising hobby for me, and I thought it's time to like invest and make a little space for knitting the same way I would for my books. So I've got behind me, I'll show you in a second, all of the different things that I have, as the cat. Yeah, all the different things that I have that I'm going to try and find a home for. And these have all been stored in like various little corners of the house, so I'm going to be turning a little nook here into, hopefully, my knitting corner. So I'll start by showing you what we have. So on the bed here are my various knitting related things. In the box to the left hand side I have my current wool, middle I've got my blocking mats, then I've got all my tools and notions and stuff inside the wickery box. Got some more wool in the bag, and then the cat is sitting on top of the shelf. Behind that I also then have some knitting books that I'm hoping might fit on the shelf. And this is just in our bedroom, so you've got like my TBRs up there, and then you can't quite see. Let me take you to the space that we're going to be putting bits in. So over there is where the books in my bedroom are stored, and just down here down the bottom is where I'm hoping to be able to fit some stash and a nice kind of cosy corner. So first things first is going to be to set up the bookcase. What I want on here, how I want it on here. I have this big one which, yeah, doesn't quite fit on the shelves, and I have this little one which I think will probably fit on really well. It does, but it also does fit downstairs. So I have some choice. So the first thing I'm going to do is these blocking mats. I've just tried, but they don't fit on the shelves, which is fine. They're just normal blocking mats, Knit IQ. They're the ones which have the little grids on them, so they can live where they have been living, which is just up top on our wardrobe. So I'll pop those ones back up there, and then I know I'm going to put my knitting books on the shelf. So I have this one which is Woodland Knits, and this is by Claire Garland. This one was a Christmas gift from my husband's family, and it's full of little creatures that you can make. They look really complicated if I am honest, but they might be fun to have a go at some point. Yeah, so that is the first of my knitting books. Then got this edition of Lane magazine, number 12, which I actually haven't read through yet, but that one's going to go here. I have 52 Weeks of Socks. And I have a Knitter's Year, and this one is by Ida Warwick-Tretovic. It's 30 modern knits for every season. I'm really excited to try some of the summer knits in this one. I think next I'm gonna have a look at what I've got in terms of yarn, because that's probably the most sensible thing to go to next. So I bought, hang on, let me sit myself down. I bought these two little containers from Asda. They were £1.80 each, which was very good value. Oh, I might have to get the labels off later. But these I'm going to use for my scraps. So I have this little bag in here, and I thought generally the scraps I have are fingering weight or sport weight, so I thought that I would sort of have those be what's in my jars, and hopefully they kind of squeeze in well enough. I think I probably can fit 2 in each. So yeah, these are like any leftovers that I have from other projects. I have quite big volumes of scrap at the minute. Should be round, I want them. Should we do them like that? Yeah, I have quite big volumes of scrap at the minute because I have had bigger skeins of wool. So there's one little set of scraps there, and here's the other jar. So I'm just going to pop my other 2 sets of scraps in there. Yeah, so these are just things I'm going to use for like colour work, pairs of socks and stuff, and I thought it was cute to have somewhere to store them. I then have, let's have a look. So I have some hand dyed wool from a Somerset dyer. This is in the colourway Evermore, and the dyer is called Loom, which is absolutely gorgeous. So pop that one down. I'm actually going to use that wool to make a jumper, and I've ordered 5 more skeins from her to do so, so I'm really excited. I actually got the notification that she had shipped them today, and I'm going to be holding it with, let's do this one next, this Rowan Kid Silk Haze in kind of a creamy colour. So if I put the 2 of them up together, they're not like a precise match, but I think hopefully they'll be quite nice together. So I'll stick those ones on the shelf. I've then got my other sweaters quantity, which is West Yorkshire Spinners in, I think it's the colours Belmont. I've got one that's still in a skein. Let's have a little look. Yeah, Belmont. That is an Aran weight yarn, really, really pretty. And I actually hand did the rest into balls because I thought I could start it, but the gauge wasn't quite right. So I'm going to pair it with some mohair just to try and get the weight up a little bit, so that I can cast that one on soon. The balls, I feel like with the cats could be a liability to be on the shelf, but I don't have a ball winder, so at the moment they are balls because that's how I learned how to wind them by hand. And if I do end up getting a ball winder in Swift, which I'm thinking about, the cakes might maybe sit a bit better. So that is that stuff. And then the only other one that I have at the moment, oh no, I lied, I have more. I have this opal sock yarn in just like a cream. I was planning on making a pair of socks with this one, and I don't really know what I feel about it. I've kind of ummed and ahed a little bit about the particular sock because it's a crochet cast on and some crochet work alongside the knitting, and I've also seen in the projects about this particular pattern that lots of people have said they haven't found it that easy to follow, so I'm not sure whether that's the best one for me. So it might be that this one is destined to be paired with some of my sock scraps to make like white sock bases with like some interesting bits on them with the colours that I have left over. So those are my main things, and then I have one little bag of a couple of new additions, which are ones I showed in another video recently, but they're the La Bien-Aimée Mondaine collection, and that one is Sandstone. And then this one here is Undergrowth. So I'm going to be holding those 2 together to do some colour work. So I think I'm going to try and put those on the same shelf with the other stuff. Just there, I think. So I've got all my wool in one place. That one empty is my tools and notions. So I'll just quickly show you what I have in here. Hang on. This is like everything else, and this is all accumulated over like a fairly long period of time. I'm just going to hide that one. It's just got a gift card code on it, so I just need to keep that one hidden. Not that I think you guys would nick it, but you know what I mean. So what I'm going to do is just have a look in here and see if any of this I'd want to have out, or whether I want to keep it in its box. If I want to keep it in its box, I may leave the box downstairs. the oldest thing on my list is this box. It was originally a Jack Will box, I think from when I was like 13 or 14. It's got some baby size buttons in there and some non-swivel cable cords alongside a couple of fixed length cables for sock knitting. So I think they're not particularly pretty. I think those ones can probably stay in. There's another couple there. They can probably stay in my hidden box. I've also got like knitting wires, late guides, I don't know what you call them, the things you put on your needle so that you can tie your stuff on, so I've got some of those. I've got nice little stitch markers and just some pins. I find I use pins all the time for some reason. I thought they're not a thing that, yeah, they're not a thing I kind of see people saying you need to have, but for me, for whatever reason, probably again it's just the way I learned from it. I use them a lot. I think these are kind of cute, so maybe they can be out on display in some way. And then I have my little Knit Pros shorty set. So this is essentially like sleeves, hats, and again they're quite pretty. Maybe I have those out. It's very tempting, or I could just leave them there being some space. I don't know, it's all exciting. I have a little DPM set here. Some of them I use for socks, some of them I use for other bits and pieces. I really like DPMs. I know they're not for everyone, but again, probably just how I like. I've got some wool wash, some fabric scissors. This is the case that Tom got me for Christmas this year, which I love it so much. I'll link the Etsy seller down below, but it's got my Knit Pro set in it and a crochet hook, which I just use for errors, and I love this so much. I'm using the smaller size needles in this at the minute. It comes with a little bag, a little insert, so those are my main needles, which, yeah, as I say, just totally in love with that case. That is beautiful. Like, part of me thinks maybe that one should stay out. My shorties are also lovely, but I think they will stay in. I've got a little guide ruler because I find it really hard not to gaslight myself with my gauge square, so this I can just plonk on the top, and again that's kind of pretty, like, should keep him out. And then this one here is just a little project bag, and inside that one I have a tape measure, and I actually have some really cool stitch markers from an Etsy shop called Celebrity Sighting. They're little baked goods. You see those? So those are super cute. So I think maybe I might get might go and get one of our little bowls and put that on the top to have maybe these cute stitch markers in there. I think that could be nice, maybe with this. But yeah, that's everything that I've got like in my stash. I'll show you the finished result. So it's not exactly the biggest stash in the world, but I doubt that surprises people. I tend to kind of use things as I go. I will have a little bit more coming of the loom wool on the side, and obviously I'm going to have some mohair arrive with the Belmont. But yeah, this is what it looks like. There's only just one tiny thing on the top. I think I'm going to pop a little bowl on the top just to have a few things that kind of feel nice and spark creativity on the shelf. But I'm really happy to have somewhere to store my wool. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So the light is going and Tom needs to sleep in here, so I'm going to get out of the way. But yeah, that's my teeny tiny little stash, and I'm really happy with it. I put my newest books, so sneak peek for BookTube people, down the bottom shelf. So those are my books that I was lucky enough to get for Christmas, which is nice. It doubles up as a bit of a storage space for other things too. Yeah, it's lovely. It feels really nice to see it all rather than having it tucked away in all different corners of the house. Bye from me and bye from Foz. I'll see you again soon in my next video.